How are you all doing? My name is Josh with CompuCentric, and you might be wondering why most potato gaming computers never feature AMD AM2. Well, there are a few good reasons. To visualize why they aren't good, I took the $20 gaming PC featuring the AMD Athlon 64X2 4400 Plus and upgraded it with 8GB of DDR2 RAM along with the GTX 750 Ti. For reference, the system is roughly the same as the Q6600 PC I previously tested, aside from the processor of course. This time, when I tested the system, I decided against a program to monitor the PC as the poor Athlon was struggling enough as it was. In Cinebench R15, the 4400 Plus received an abysmal score of 91, which hadn't changed since the original video. And for the sake of comparison, a Q6600 at 3GHz scores over 3 times the amount. In my last video, I showed off how well PUBG Mobile could run Intel graphics, so this PC with a much better graphics card should perform better, right? Well, actually, there was no contest. Even though we were using a decent graphics card, we were only able to stay around 14 FPS with constant dips into single digits. To lighten things up, in Minecraft with a mixture of low and fancy settings, we could see decent frame rates above 70, but would have nearly constant dips while rendering chunks. Luckily for this PC, staying in pre-rendered chunks, the FPS was much more consistent and smooth. For a PC like this, you really should install Optifind in order to adjust the graphics settings further for a good experience. But then again, Optifind makes Minecraft run on almost everything. Trying out Fortnite, the buildings wouldn't load properly, and we were stuck with low quality textures of buildings as if they were far off in the distance. Luckily, due to a similar comment I remember reading, I changed the FPS limit to 30 FPS, and the buildings were able to load in. At 1080p on low settings with an FPS cap of 30, the game averaged around 30 FPS and played decently. Of course, until you got into any sort of combat, which then the frame rate would tank below 20. While you could play the game, I really wouldn't consider the game as playable. Honestly, it really isn't surprising that the Athlon wasn't able to hold up, as it's weaker than most Chromebooks today. Of course, you might argue that the 4400 Plus is an older dual-core than the AM2 platform itself, and that a faster and newer AM2 processor would work much better. While it is true they would be slightly faster, in most cases, an equivalent Core 2 Duo from Intel is going to be faster than the AM2 version. What about the quad-core AM2 phenoms though? Well, those are often harder to come across than the insanely popular Core 2 quad lineup, and until recently, they cost much more too. To put the final nail in the AM2 coffin, most LGA 775 CPUs have access to the BSL mod, otherwise known as the tape mod, which can make them run even faster. To conclude, you really shouldn't be using an Athlon 64X2 in 2018 if you plan on doing much more than surfing the internet. I hope that this video was helpful, and if it was, then leave a like and comment down below anything you learned or any questions you might have. If you enjoy seeing what old computers are capable of, you should also subscribe. My name is Josh, this is CompuCentric, and I'll see you in the next one.